Welcome back. I am with a very special guest. We got Punam over here. So I'm interviewing one of our DTA superstars. Now she joined the community about 4 months ago, and one of her goals was to get in shape for this wedding that just recently passed. And now we're at the aftermath, and I thought I'd do an interview with her to so she can share her story and some of the accomplishments she's had. So Punam, welcome to the call.
Thank you.
So tell us, I want everyone to know, can you share with everyone like where you're from, who you are, and start from there?
So I'm from Montreal, Quebec, born and raised here, have always been here. I recently moved 2 years ago, somewhere right outside of Montreal, closer towards Toronto, which is a good thing because we always travel to Toronto, for weddings, and my sister lives there too. So it like kind of saves us like 45 minutes, from where we used to live. So that's great. I work at Canada Life, which is providing like savings and pension plans for employees on behalf of companies. So I handle that. It's an office job. So, trying to be as active as possible, still, sitting at a desk at all times.
Mm,
So, yeah.
okay. And what was your health and fitness journey like before you decided to join the DTA back in March?
So I know I had completed about 10,000 steps for 30 days before I went a little off track. And the day I didn't do 10,000 steps, I just, wanted to see how many steps I usually get in a day without like tracking or anything, without, just doing my usual movements. I saw that I actually do 2,000 steps a day if I just do a regular thing. So that I wanted to change. I also compete with my mom. My mom does 10,000 steps a day. So we're always competing. So you'll see us, like Jasmine will see us running back and forth on our main floor because it's too hot and humid outside. So we don't walk and we like live down the hill. So going up the hill is a mission. But yeah, we're running back and forth, trying to stop each other from getting enough steps. And then first one wins.
Mm,
So we
okay.
do
And
that. So I've been
like,
much more active than before, which is different than what I used to have.
okay, so what was your health like before you joined the program? Like, would you say it was optimal? Were you like in great shape? Were you like struggling with energy? Like, where were you before?
I was struggling with energy. It wasn't really great. I was very lazy, which is because I used to do keto and boxing, and that's all I did last year. And then
Mhm.
in December, I was like, okay, I've had enough. I did this for a year. I don't want to do keto anymore. Like, I want to enjoy food too. So from December until March, it was just me being very lazy, and I didn't like that. And then I came across your page on Instagram, and I had already followed you before. And I was like, you know what? Let's take a chance. And here I am.
Here you are. Now, how did you feel like before? Like before you came in and met, like we talked on Instagram, like how did you feel?
I was I I was okay with myself, but I wanted to feel better about myself.
Mm,
Like, I wanted to look at myself in the mirror and be like, damn, like you look good, like you feel good and all that stuff, which I didn't feel before.
mm, okay. Yeah. Well, you definitely don't are not the same person I spoke to. I mean, I guess you are personality wise, but in terms of your energy, it's like a day and night. Um, so could you run through like what a tip like your typical day before joining? Like, were you jumping out of bed? Were you like motivated to go to the gym when you were wearing the dresses like that you would wear? Like, were you happy with the way you look? Like, run me through like how your mindset was before.
So my sister knows this too. If I don't feel good about how I look, I don't take pictures. Even if I do take pictures, I'm like, don't even send it to me. I don't want to look at it or anything. So even
Hmm.
this past wedding, she's been like, how do you feel? Like, do you look good? What do you feel? So I'll be like, yes, I look good. And she'll be super enthusiastic because she loves taking pictures. So that I felt really good during the wedding. Um, I just felt more, empowered, which is different than what I felt before.
Empowered. That's really cool. And now what were your fitness goals coming into the program? Like what was your number one goal?
So I've been a little always self-conscious about my shoulders. It's just something like they used to be big, and I was always told like, you have big shoulders. So I was like, I never wore sleeveless anything. And my back as well, like right where I've been working on for the past bit. Those were my problem areas. Um, just because that's what everyone has been told me, and like in a brown community, like they always want you to be skinny. And if you're not skinny, like they're like, okay, why aren't you skinny? Why aren't you working on yourself? And it kind of like, kills your self-esteem a little.
Hmm.
So those were my goals coming in. Like I wanted to work on those areas where I felt like, I want to work on them and feel better about those areas. And now I'm happy to say, like, I wore sleeveless during the wedding, which is a first. I went to gym with sleeveless shirt, which is amazing. And yeah, my arms are pretty muscular now.
Yeah, I actually want to show everyone. Thanks for the leeway. So, um, I want to show everyone this. This is really cool. So this is Punam's before and afters. Now, when she first joined, all the way back in March, on a side profile, this is this is her first progress photos, and it's really cool to look back because from here to where you are now, like you have a whole different body shape. We can't even, it's like everyone's smiling in the group. I mean, your posture, firstly, your stomach, your waist, your glutes, your legs, your arms, like everything's changed. And you can see week by week how much your body has improved. And it's also a testament to you just showing up. I know a lot of times that you didn't feel like coming, but you showed up, and when you do the work, when you get into those dresses, like it's a good feeling that you did it the right way as well. You didn't have to starve yourself either. So good job. Um, okay, now you recently hit a 70-day um benchmark. So you did 10,000 steps every day for 70 days plus. The longest streak we have in the DTA, I think, is like 95 or something. What do you do to your steps? What
So
do you do?
actually, yesterday was my 92nd day.
Okay,
Yeah,
92nd
I've
day.
been keeping track. So I like, because the app doesn't reflect what I have. And then where I was at the Airbnb in Toronto during the wedding, it doesn't have connection. So I actually was able to only input the 10K steps the next day, which it just restarted the whole thing. So I'm at 92 days as of yesterday. Usually during the day, I kind of make it because I live upstairs. So, if I want to go eat, I have to go down the steps. So I like run back and forth during the day. That gets me like 3,000 steps. And then I cram it towards the night. I saw your video with Joe doing that. Yeah, that's me. That's me every night.
We were crazy. It was so bad. We bought a treadmill just recently for the house because we were just going up and down like crazy people. Like it was at a time where we both had like 1,000 steps left. It was 30 minutes to midnight, and we're just sitting there on the spot, just walking like this. We're looking at each other like,
Exactly. Yeah,
"Hey,
that's literally my story too. Even yesterday, I completed my 10,000 steps at 11:55.
let's go."
So, yeah.
Let's go. I love it. Keeping promises to yourself. Now, what
Yeah.
has been your biggest challenge in this journey of yours so far? On the way to getting into your dream dress, on the way to the wedding, like what was your biggest challenge?
Honestly, sleep and water. Those are really bad. Water, I sometimes didn't even drink water during the day, which is really bad. And sleep is something I struggled with for years. It's not something like I've ever gotten used to. I've always like, one night didn't sleep, the next night slept 8 hours, one night didn't sleep, and that's how my schedule has always been. Or I've been running on like 3 hours of sleep, and I have no idea how I was able to function, but I made it through. But then you tell me how sleep is important with, your body changing and everything. So I make it a point. So I'll do my steps during the day, and then I'll be like, okay, if I finish my steps by this time, and if I go to sleep at this time, then if I wake up at this time, like I'll have my 7 to 8 hours of sleep. And that's how I plan out my night. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you have you noticed when since you've been getting in a bit more sleep, maybe not the last week because of all the weddings and everything, but or maybe you have got your sleep back. But do you notice when you get more sleep, you can make clear decisions and stress levels go down?
Yeah, I
Mm.
have. Yeah, because I know this week I went to the office, but I was on like 4 hours of sleep. I was dying in the office. Like I was half asleep the whole time. I don't know how I was working. Took the train back and I fell asleep throughout the train. Like even when I came back, I was way too sleepy, so I couldn't even go to a gym. So that's something also I didn't like. It's been 2.5 weeks I haven't gone to a gym and I feel pretty shitty about it.
Mm.
But I'm gonna get back into it today, right after this call when we're all done. I'm going to a gym.
And to give everyone some perspective, we worked very hard to get her in the best shape she's been in a long time. In the last few weeks, she had all the weddings, and that's why she's getting her rhythm back. And yeah. Okay, now your sister's in the call right now. I remember speaking to you, and obviously you joined in March, and the next day I spoke to your sister, and she wanted to accompany you on this journey. So, what do you think was a sister, a big part of your life? You both have different goals. What do you think made your sister join the DTA? Because she's never done anything like this before.
I did. I made her join. I'm very protective of her, so she's also protective of me. So when I felt confident with my call with you when we first, initially talked and like the way you talked and the way, you made me understand some things and you're like, okay, we can do this. And then I was like, you know what? Like if I'm pretty confident that we can make it work, why can't my sister join in as well? So I know she's been going through her fitness journey and it hasn't been like it's been very bumpy and her mindset was really fucked up, which you helped with a lot. So thank you for that. But yeah, she's doing great.
Yeah, your sister, there will be a time where I'll jump on a call with her on one of these meetings here. So, for those that don't know, your sister's trying to lose weight and weight loss is a big part of her life for like the longest time. And she didn't really have much. I know she's got you, like she definitely has you, but she didn't really have like a professional hold her hand and show her that it was possible to do it. And I remember in the first few weeks, like mindset was a thing that was holding her back. It's just negative voices, like everyone has it.
Yeah,
Some negative voices are louder than others. And not only was I helping her, I knew you were in the back of her ear, cheering her on, like supporting her and pushing her. And even her, like she was grinding every day, showed up to training, went to the gym, even though she didn't really want to go.
yeah.
And it was really cool not for you to just lead by example for yourself, but to lead by example for others as well. So that's really cool. Now let's talk about the wedding, okay? Because this was the number one goal for both of you. Can you explain firstly how the wedding process works in your culture?
Okay, so like I said, it's usually not this long, but my cousin's a little extra, and so it went much longer than expected. So we got to Toronto Tuesday morning. Tuesday was a lot of running around, getting stuff ready for the wedding. We had a lot of suitcases with all the dresses and everything. Tuesday was also the day we went to the Airbnb. We put all our stuff there. Wednesday, we had the event. It's the henna event. So the bride gets like massive henna from like her hand up until her elbow and on her feet. And it's basically like she gets professionally done. So hers starts much earlier than ours. I don't like henna. I don't like the smell, so I didn't get it done. But because I didn't get it done and all the ladies got it done, I was running around all day. Like if they needed anything, I was running around. For this reason, I wasn't able to wear heels during the whole wedding because I was fucked the first day. So the henna party it doesn't take that long, but you have so many family coming over at the house. It ends up going longer and then we're celebrating. So it actually finished at like 1:30 in the morning, which usually never happens. It's just a simple henna party. And then the next day, it's something called Jago, so Thursday, which you should. I sent the picture. It was like my orange and blue dress that I wore. That one is basically it's basically the bride's mom side versus the bride's dad side. Like they kind of roast each other and all that stuff and like dancing and everything. It's pretty fun, dancing all night, celebrating the bride and everything. So it's a very colorful event. So that's why you see a lot of colors. Like my sister was wearing dark purple, my other sister was wearing pink, and it was just like a lot of mix of colors.
Hmm.
Then on Friday, this usually doesn't happen, but we had the engagement in the morning.
Hmm.
And then we had this ritual where the bride's um, mother's side, they put her bangles, the red bangles. You guys probably see like, married women with the red bangles that they have. So that's another ritual in itself. And then we just get together and, just chill with family. And once you chill with family, like it gets long, long, long because you're catching up with all these people that you haven't seen in so long. And then Saturday morning was the wedding.
Mm.
Um,
These are the photos,
Saturday
right?
morning, we woke up at 3 in the morning.
This is you and your dad.
Yeah, so that's during the henna party that we had. So
Mm.
my mom's really into matching outfits. So that's what we had. And then this is the morning. This in the morning, we have to get up at 3 in the morning. So I only actually had an hour of sleep. Um, and I have no idea how I was functioning, but I was running around. And then on Sunday's a reception, which is a purple dress. Sunday, it was a little bit chill in the morning. Like we woke up at maybe, okay, we still woke up early at 8 in the morning. And then got our hair and makeup started at 10:30. And then, running around, making sure everything's okay, like the tables are ready because we have like assigned seating and everything. And so I wore the purple, um, which is my favorite color, which is, you know, I love it that I was wearing that.
What
So
do you
yeah,
think,
that's that.
if you wore this back in March, what would be different?
Um, Honestly, I wouldn't have been able to wear it just because the shoulders. So I was very insecure about my shoulders, and it's kind of backless in the backless. So that's something also like I love backless, but I wasn't confident wearing it because it was backless. And then it's my stomach as well.
Mm. So wearing this now, like obviously, body fat has come down, like you're toning up a lot more. Like, did you notice like when you were wearing it, like it was just fitting you a lot better?
I did. So this outfit was made like I received it maybe a week before the wedding, and before then I like tried it on in April when they took my measurements. So I never saw it again. So
Wow.
during the wedding, during the reception when I was wearing it, it was actually loose, which is amazing. So I had to pin it in the back. But yeah, and then she had a second reception this weekend in Edmonton. So it was ongoing for a very
Wow.
long time.
And this is your back photos you sent me.
Yeah,
That's cool. You can even see the shape.
yeah,
Come a long way. Your
I
sister.
know.
Yeah, that's really cool. I love the fact that before you weren't comfortable taking photos, like you wouldn't take photos, and now you're openly proud of like the progress that you made. It's amazing.
Honestly,
Um,
Pat, I took a solo picture at every event. I felt really good. So I was like, I took Jasmine to the side. I was like, listen, I've been doing a solo picture. You gotta take my picture.
mm,
So I've been doing that and just looking about like I'm saving these pictures because I feel so good in them.
mm, that's really cool. What have you learned? I know you mentioned like sleep and water intake. In terms of training adherence or even mindset or even your macros, anything with your training, nutrition, or your mindset was a maybe like a surprise to you when you joined the program?
So I know since I started the program, I've always struggled with the macros. And I know at one point I just messaged you. I was like, Pat, this is not working. Like, I don't know what's happening. Like, help me. And then we had the challenge. Actually, the challenge really got me into it because I was like, you know what? um, having my lunch at work, and then I'll plan for what I want the next day and like what I'm gonna have for dinner. So then I'll like make sure and I'll like change the proportions to make sure it's at like zero remaining for calories. That's been great. I'm getting back into it now this week itself, just because during the wedding, and I remember this from my sister's wedding too, 2 years ago. Um, I didn't get enough sleep and I wasn't hydrated enough, so I knew like I couldn't even track what I ate. But I did make it a point that I wasn't gonna have too much sugar. Like I didn't have cake during the wedding, which is a first, but I stayed away from the table and I was
Yeah.
like dancing all night. So that was a lot of cardio. Um, but yeah, sleep has been a really big challenge for me, which I've gotten. I've learned what it takes to get your sleep in, like following a ritual, a routine at night.
What's your routine
And
at night to sleep?
sorry.
What's your routine at night to fall asleep?
So first, I have to calculate how much like when I have to wake up, and then I make sure I get those 7 hours of sleep. So today I knew I was gonna wake up at 9, so I was like, okay, I have to sleep by 2. Um, so I have time for myself. So what I do is I do my skincare. I'm taking care of my face just because the makeup for the past 2 weeks has been insane on my skin, and I'm getting like a little bit of like redness on it. So I'm going no makeup for at least a week. I do my skincare routine, and then I finish my steps for the night. Um, and because I do my skincare, like my sister doesn't want me to sleep at least half an hour after I do my skincare, so it kind of sets in. And then I go in bed. I maybe give myself 30 minutes to watch something or do anything on my phone, and then I go to sleep. Like I
Mm.
turn off my phone, put it on the side, put on my alarm, and like I'm knocked out.
Yeah, that's really cool. You reverse engineer. So you're like, what time do I have to wake up? I got this amount of time. I need at least I need to get 7 hours. That's really interesting. A lot of people were like,
Yeah,
I need to sleep, get to bed at 10, but yours is more flexible. It depends on what time you actually need to wake up. It's really
exactly.
insightful. Okay. For I know a big part of your progress in the program was the community challenge. I just saw something in you, and Sarah, who's our community manager, runs the challenges. I'm like, something's happening with Puna. I'm like, I don't know what it is. And then I went into the community chat. I'm like, oh, she's participating in the challenge. Like, that's why she's so consistent. And you're not like the questions that you were asking at the start of the program were more mindset and like getting to the gym and doing it. And then all of a sudden something switched. So for those that don't know what the community challenge is all about, why do you think it was so important for you to do it and obviously win the challenge? Like, why were you so invested into that particular challenge?
So my sister used to do a lot of sports. This is my oldest sister, not Jasmine. She used to do a lot of sports. So she has like these amazing looking legs, which I've been dreaming to have. So the calf raises, and I've always wanted to work on my abs. So those were the two things that were part of the challenge. Which at first I was like, discussing with Jasmine. I was like, should I do it? Should I not? Like, do I want to do it? Like, should I? Like, I kept going back and forth until I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's give it a shot. Let's see how it's gonna work out. And my legs do look amazing. So yeah, and I wear shorts a lot now, more often than not. So like I'm always in the mirror, like, damn, these legs, like this is what I wanted. That's what I got. So
This confidence that you have, I can just feel the vibration and the affirmations that you've been saying to yourself. Have you been practicing that intentionally? And or is that something you've always had and you just say it more? Like, talk to me about that because you mentioned a few times, like when you look in the mirror, you feel amazing. Damn, my legs look good. Like, did you work on that?
so I have a mirror right next to my bed. As soon as I get up, like I'll be able to see it. I usually talk talk to myself in the mirror a lot. Like even like I'll look at it and be like, damn, like I need to work on this, or I don't like this. Like I've always had this thing with the mirror. Now I'm like, okay, you look good.
Okay,
All
so
these things. So I talk to myself in the mirror.
yeah, your relationship with the mirror has improved.
Yeah.
And it's not one of those improve, there's a lot of people in the self-help space. It's like kind of woo-woo. So they look in the mirror and they'll tell themselves all these positive things. but it doesn't have the belief or the conviction behind their voice because they're actually not doing what they're supposed to be doing. So they look in the mirror,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm beautiful, I'm amazing, I have love. But like they're eating Doritos all day and eating cake and like not going to
Yeah.
the gym while they're saying it. I'm like, fuck, what are we doing here? We're just living a lie. And for you to actually not just say those positive words to yourself, but actually do the actual action steps, it just makes it more real. So that's really cool. That's what I realized too. For anyone that's thinking about joining this program, and people are very skeptical of doing anything online or having a trainer or investing into themselves, you are someone that fully invested into you, trusting someone like me that you've never met before. What would you say to people that are kind of not sure in investing into themselves and hiring a trainer?
I was skeptical too, for when I first messaged you, because I've been going like looking through so many things on Instagram and like your page popped up, and I was like, should I not? And then I was like, you know what? Like I haven't worked out in so long. Like all I was doing was boxing. I actually didn't even like weight training when I first even started weight training. I didn't like I only really started for my sister, but I was like, you know what? Like this is good for myself too. So when I started, I didn't really like it. Then the trainer introduced me to the boxing trainer, and I just boxed all year long last year. It didn't make a difference, but then I realized I was like, maybe I should be weight training, and it'll bring a little bit more difference into it. Um, and then I didn't know I could like working out as much as I do now, than I did before. Like boxing, like I just learned that boxing is not enough. Cardio is not enough for you to get to your goals, that you do need to weight train. And then like even now, like if you had told me this last year, like you're gonna like weight training, I would have been like, you're crazy. That's not gonna happen. But for people who are skeptical, like you just need to give yourself a chance. You need to, take the risk and just see where it takes you. Because if you don't take a risk, you'll never know. You'll miss out.
Mm. They'll know if you like, funny thing with people, Punam, they will know what indecision looks like because they've done it so long. Like you know for certain, but you don't really know for certain if you invest into you and buy a program that you've never done before, despite seeing all the transformations and the social proof. Like you don't know if you can do it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of impossible. So for you to jump in both legs, have that faith and bet on yourself, I mean, what I'm hearing is like, well, you have to like own your own your goals, own your responsibilities to yourself and keep promises to yourself. And if you do that, it can happen. And I love the fact that you are fully invested into weight training because I love boxing too. I box twice a week. But I don't do that to shape my body because it does nothing for my physical body. I just love and enjoy it, and I love my trainer. Um, but the weight training shapes my body. So it's really important for people to know the difference between cardio for fun and lifting weights to build the body. Okay, so
hmm Well, I
now,
didn't I didn't do boxing just for like the changes either. It's just like I'm always in myself. Like I don't even Jasmine will tell you like I don't talk about my feelings. So I have everything bottled up. So I didn't have an outlet and I'd like lash out sometimes. So that's why I went to boxing. I was like, you know what? This is gonna work.
yeah,
This is gonna be my outlet, which it has been. I've been like less lashing out. It's more like I take all my problems into the boxing and then, punch the shit out of the bag or anything like that. And then I feel better right after. Because
yeah,
I'm like thinking about nothing. Like he'll put music, I don't even hear it. Like I'm so into it that everything around me like is non-existent.
love,
So
love. What advice do you have for anyone that's worried about starting their own fitness journey? Like, how could you get people to just start? What would you say?
So if you look at yourself in the mirror and you, I'm going back to the mirror because it's always been me in the mirror. If you look at yourself in the mirror and you feel like you want to work on certain things, well, this is your chance to do it. You have to jump in with both feet. You can't just put half in, half out. Like you're never going to get anywhere with that. You have to take a chance on yourself. Believe in yourself that, if you put the work through, then you'll see results.
Mm. Punam, I appreciate you. Thank you for taking the time with me today, sharing with everyone the results that you've produced with your hard work and your faith and trust in me as your coach. It's really cool to see how far you come and where we're about to go now. Yeah, thank you once again. I'm sure you've inspired many people today.
I hope so.
Cool.